Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Digital Road Trip. My name is Wizzy Zero, you can also call me Wizzy, and today we are continuing our journey to New York City, more specifically Lower Manhattan at the World Trade Center. Now, this episode we may make it. Reason why I don't sound too sure is because we still do have a little ways to go. And yes, I did look at the map after the last episode. And one thing I did notice, I know, shame over me again, but I guess it was like planning it out in a way, I guess. I don't know. But I did notice that Route 15 here is basically like this the entire way. So I think what we are gonna do is, so we can see more stuff. I mean, granted it is not an interstate, but still, we want to see more things rather than just this, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I did notice, and like I said, I know it's probably, you could probably almost count it as planning the route out or whatever. But I did notice that US 7 does come across 15 here. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue up 15 until we get to 7. I mean, maybe we could always cut down another road before then too. That way it doesn't make it seem like it's planning per se. So we'll do that. And I think what I want to try and do is get back to US Route 1. We probably should have stayed on Route 1 beforehand or as well last episode, but I mean, it's okay. What does this sign say up here? Okay, exit 42, 1 mile, with State Route 57, so we'll get off that one, actually, instead. See, I'm not planning at all. No planning involved. But anyways, as I was kind of going on with the whole, we may get to New York City this episode. The reason why I didn't sound too sure about that is because, I guess I think I did actually mention that, yeah, didn't I? We still have a ways away to go. But we are definitely getting close. 57 goes over this way. We're gonna stay on this road. And we should eventually catch Route 1, I would think. This way too. Because also when I looked at the map, I noticed that we weren't actually too far from the coast. And Route 1, especially down Connecticut down here, goes right along the coast. For the most part, or pretty much anyways, until you get to New York. So we are going to, follow 57 some more. Now, depending on where we end up at the 30-minute mark, if we're like in one of the boroughs of New York City, or just north of Manhattan there, then I'm going to continue on. Kind of like what we did when we were going into Boston, where I continued on and end up finishing it up. We're basically going to do the same thing. That way too is if like we're, let's say, 10 minutes outside or from getting to the World Trade Center from where we are at the 30-minute mark, then I mean we're gonna definitely want to instead of having a 10-minute video afterwards, we're gonna definitely want to extend this one. Although it's hard to tell if you're like 10 minutes out as well, but it's like Boston. I knew we were almost into Boston because, well, I've been to Boston so many times and I've been down that road. Is this US 1? It is US 1. Okay. So, I mean, I know you're close to Boston, or at least, yeah. Since I've been there so many times, I know when we're almost into Boston anyway, so that's how I knew we were gonna just finish the episode there. So as I've said already a couple times, that's what we're gonna do this episode, maybe. Depending on how close we are. Now, one thing I did notice as well was US 1 actually does go right into Manhattan, which I actually didn't quite realize. It follows Manhattan. It's basically the northern part of Manhattan. And then it hooks up with Interstate 95 and stays with 95 going across the George Washington Bridge. And then shortly after that, it will split off again. Stu Leonard's. Huh. Was it like a, is it a grocery store or is it a restaurant? Or is it both? I don't know. Okay, Norwalk, Connecticut. That is where we currently are. For now, come on. I want to continue going this direction, please. Thank you. We're gonna stay on the main road. $2.39 was the gas price there. About comparable to what it currently is here in Maine right now. August 2017 is when these pictures were taken, so yeah, I noticed, I think the highest it got to here in Maine was like just shy of 280. Okay, I feel like US 1 goes off this way. No, it goes right. Okay. We're going to US 7 this way as well. 95 turns. So I would assume, since 95 turns, because I don't see anything for US 1 going that direction. So I would assume... Actually, no, it looks like it would go that way. Right? Yeah, so this makes me think that it is this direction, and indeed it is. So of course we don't want to go on to 95. So we are going to continue on 1 going this direction. 7 is actually part of 95 right there, looks like. Kind of parallels 95 here, it looks like. Still in Norwalk for now. Probably not going to be too much further until we get out of Norwalk, I would assume. I wonder what casino that's for. I wonder if that's, oh, right here. Empire City Casino. Wonder where that's at. I'll have to look that up. I think some of this, like one or two of the city buses here in Bang, well, actually, do they? No, actually, I don't think so. Because I was gonna say, I think a couple of the city buses in Bangor have casino ads on them. Actually, yes, I think they do. Now I think about it. For Hollywood Casino in Bangor. But those types of buses, because I'm sure as you probably know by now, I drive bus. I used to drive school bus. Don't anymore. I drive bus during the summers for the Island Explorer. I might have mentioned that as well. That's in Bar Harbor. And when I got my bus license, or actually my permit rather, I think it was, the person at the DMV told me that with that I cannot drive a class, what's called a Class A bus, which is what that bus was back there that had the ads on it for the casino there. And he also told me that I guess they're also illegal in Maine, so in Maine you will not see any of those types of buses. And I guess that's why, because they are illegal. Because I know Boston has those types of buses as well. I didn't realize they were actually illegal though. That was news to me. Although I couldn't drive it anyways, even if we had them, because I mean I only had a Class B license. So I'm assuming one goes this direction. Maybe? Maybe not. Let's go back this way. Yeah, that's for the interstate. So yeah, Route 1A, or Route 1 rather, continues on this way, it looks like. Yeah, US 1. You're in Darien, Connecticut. Come on. Let's continue on, please. Let's get a move on. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you. I don't know why it does that sometimes. It seems like it just, you're clicking and it has a little arrow thing there and it just doesn't want to move. I don't understand. But whatever. Looks like we're right in town here, basically. Got a train station there, it looks like. Commuter station. Right in downtown Darien. Sugar Bowl, I thought it said like some sort of bank or something like that. Savings bank. Nope. Yeah, see, that one's a bank. That's Webster Bank. Because for some reason that Sugar Bowl, I thought it said like Bangor Savings Bank or something like that, which I was a little bit confused about, but obviously it wasn't. I know, I think Bangor Savings Bank is actually going to be opening, or if they haven't already, because I heard, I think it was earlier this year, that they were planning on opening some actual branch locations in New Hampshire. which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, see, this is a Class A bus right here because it has like the hinge or whatever. The accordion thing has kind of the second section. Every time I think of like Class A vehicles, at least that's what Maine considers them. I don't know how other states classify these vehicles or not. But in Maine anyways, I think basically Class A vehicles are vehicles that have like trailers or basically have like a pivot point. And if that makes any sense. It's like a hinge sort of thing, hinging motion. Whereas Class B vehicles are, well, both Class B and Class A encompass vehicles that have air brakes. And Class B vehicles would be more what they call like straight trucks or buses. Straight trucks being essentially box trucks. And then of course Class C vehicles are regular cars and trucks and SUVs. What you would get with when you have a normal driver's license. Because Class B and A are considered CDL, commercial driver's licenses. So we are in Stamford, Connecticut. I feel like Stamford is, well, I mean, we're obviously getting close to New York anyways, but I feel like it would be like right on the border almost. I don't know. Stamford Public Schools, that's kind of like one of those shorter buses. Well, maybe it's just the way the camera looks, makes it portray. Kind of looks like one of those shorter buses. Oh, one thing I did learn too, or actually kind of know about already, is Class B vehicles in Maine, as well as Class B licenses in Maine, are required if you need to drive a van that can carry over a certain number of passengers. So I'm assuming I don't see any signs for Route 1 churning or anything like that. So I'm assuming Route 1 keeps going this direction. Saw US 1 for a brief moment there, so I would say that would be the case. Now we're at 18 minutes. We're still not in New York yet, so... Now, I know New York City is like not very far from Connecticut at all. I'm gonna assume it goes this way. Looking at the mini-map, the yellow line kind of turned as well, so I'd say yes. This is downtown Stamford. A mall there by the looks of it. The Cheesecake Factory. Boy, do I wish we had a Cheesecake Factory though. I know the first time I ever had their cheesecake there, it was like, oh my goodness, so good. It's expensive, but it's really good. Because before then, my favorite cheesecake was actually from Chili's. I mean, that's still really good, but it definitely does not compare to the Cheesecake Factory cheesecake. I mean, it has cheesecake in the name of the place. This reminds me of hotels in South Portland. Over by the main mall. Let's get a move on. Thank you. Now, of course, since I mentioned that Route 1 in New York City does connect up to 95, I mean, we're obviously going to want to get off by then. Oh, this is one of those old signs. I used to have one of those in Ellsworth. This intersection kind of reminds me of an intersection in Bangor. But anyways, I'm getting distracted. Of course, we're gonna want to get off Route 1 by then anyways, once we're in Manhattan. So... one kind of curves around here, this way. Which kind of makes sense because the road was kind of curving this way anyways, so... At least we didn't jump too far off Route 1 there. Like, it would have been that big of a deal. Sometimes I just can't speak for some reason. But yeah, anyways, it wouldn't have been a big deal if we had gone a ways off Route 1, but... we would have just had to work our way back, that's all. Now in Greenwich. Should be getting into New York not too long from now, I would think. Still got 8 minutes left on the video, but right now I'm starting to think we will probably end up splitting this video up again. That's cool. Just, I guess, with the flags and everything, although it is pretty cool looking down the river there. Patio furniture there. And we're gonna move like this. I apologize if that makes you a little queasy. But unfortunately, I have no control over that. I don't know why it does that sometimes. We don't have the little circle thing either, so... it has anything to do with that. Maybe, because we have the circle thing back again and it's not doing that, so... it's kind of, I think, for a moment they're going like one frame at a time. Instead of us being able to go down a ways down the road. I know I said down twice, but... okay, come on. Thank you. Much appreciated. Are obviously on the wrong side of the road, but that's fine. Just practice. Well, I got the scoreboard going. Oh, it's soccer. I was gonna say, I don't think they would have the scoreboard on if they're just practicing. Not a wicked large crowd. I would assume that would probably be high school. Is this a school or is this a church or what is this? Can't even read that. No, I'm thinking it's a schoolmate. Well, I don't know. I would think if that's a school, this would be placed on the other side here, so maybe it's not a school. I don't know. Anyways, continuing on. Okay, so yeah, we're going this way. Let's try and stay on the main road here. And remove the square thing, there we go. Getting right into the middle of town now. That's different. Design of that building. Can we move, please? Thank you. I know I've said that before, but I don't know why it gets hung up at times. Okay, come on. Library. We're at 26 minutes. Still not in New York yet, so yeah, I think I am definitely going to be splitting this video up. Especially considering we're not in New York yet. Otherwise, we'll get right into New York right at the 30-minute mark. Okay. I think we have a city bus with a similar thing like that. I know some of the, in fact, that might be the line system, because I think a lot of the buses that we have in Bangor are second-hand buses. And I know a few years back, they brought a whole bunch of buses down from where's 1A going? Or 1 rather. Keeps wanting to say 1A, I don't know why. But anyways, I know we got a whole bunch of buses from New York here, and I think it was that bus line, so I think that's when one of the buses they haven't repainted yet, so it still has the blue and yellow stripe on it like that. So this must be the town where we got those buses from, because I think like I said, I think I do remember the name of that bus system. I think that's where we were getting them from. Oh, we are in New York now. See, I told you, right when we get into, about the 30-minute mark, we're gonna cross over into New York. We're in Port Chester, New York. I think Route 1 actually turned here. Yes. Now, I'm not sure how far into New York City is from here. I mean, what we can always do too is, if we do end up into, are splitting it up and it ends up being like 15 minutes or so. I want to get back up, please. We're gonna do it this way. If it does end up being about 15-20 minutes or so. Oh, if it's 20 minutes, it's not too bad. I can have a shorter video. But I'm almost tempted just to look at the map. You know, I'm gonna look at it on my phone and just see how much further we have, and then I can make a quick judgment of You know what? Yeah. We're gonna split this up, so... because there is still ways to go, actually. So we're gonna look for a spot to, end the video here. You could almost do this, like this big tree and everything, but I don't think I really want to do that. Route 1 turns here. I'm gonna find a better spot than that. Oh, that is kind of cool. Especially with this little building right here. You know what? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back here. And of course the name of the road's gonna be in the way, isn't it? You know what? No, we're gonna continue on. Sorry. I apologize, but we are going to... I mean, I could always go from this angle too. But once again, we have the name of the road in the way. You know what? Like I said, we're gonna continue. See if we can find something better. Got a church right there. Like a medieval looking building here. Kinda cool. Yeah, here, we'll do this. No. No, we'll find something better. May take us a little bit further. Actually, you know what? That's pretty cool right there, so I think... Church of the Resurrection. It's actually a pretty cool church, so I am actually going to leave it right here. Because this is a really good spot. I like how green it is too, so... Yeah, this is going to be our finishing point. So of course with that means that we are just about done for this episode. So hopefully you've enjoyed. Oh, one thing I do want to mention first, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video. And if you've made it this far, thank you. And like I said, I do want to mention that on Saturday I want to try and upload a new video. Basically new as in something completely different. I mean, nobody's gonna expect it, pretty much. But I want to try and upload that on Saturday, so I just wanted to mention about that. So... it'll probably be about... We'll do it for about 2 o'clock on Saturday. Because 2 is what I normally do, except for Friday. So, yeah, I'm going to shoot for 2 o'clock on Saturday. That is going to be when the new video is going to go up. Like I said, it's going to be probably something completely different. I can tell you one thing. It's going to be a whole lot shorter than these other videos, so... because of the type of video it's going to be, and I'm not going to give any spoilers as to what it's going to be, or what type of video it's going to be. So, I'm just saying it's going to be completely different from anything I've ever done, and probably, I don't know if people have done it before or not, but, yeah, anyways, that's enough rambling on, I guess. So that is just about going to do it for this episode, though. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up. And of course, as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye!